The Bill Belichick slander has gone too far.
Bill Belichick's not that great a head coach. He's a regular coach.
I do think Bill has gotten exposed without Tom.
So if you couldn't tell by all those clips, Bill Belichick, he's under fire. He's on the hot seat. He might even be fired as of the time you're watching this video. And I can't even blame the Patriots if that happens. Bill Belichick, despite winning 6 championships, has made some awful decisions in recent years. But there's another thing I want to talk to you about today. And that has to do with this narrative pushed by a lot of fans and a lot of media members, which is that Bill Belichick is a bad coach and Tom Brady carried him for those 19 years. Because the truth is that Bill Belichick has actually done a lot of good things in New England that just goes completely unnoticed and completely uncredited for. And I spent hours finding all of them, and I have to share these 3 with you. So the first one is drafting Tom Brady. Now, look, I got what you're going to say because I was thinking this at first. He drafted Tom Brady in the 6th round. Like, come on, it was pick 199. Every team probably passed up on him at least 5 times, and the Patriots actually passed up on him 7 times. So why does Bill Belichick deserve credit for Tom Brady? Well, it has to do with the fact that Bill Belichick gave Tom Brady an opportunity. Obviously, he drafted him. But there are 2 other things that I think are really important and often forgotten that Bill Belichick did. The first is that he kept 4 quarterbacks on the roster Tom Brady's first season. And I'm sure the 3 quarterback rule was a thing back then, but let's be real. Keeping 4 quarterbacks on a roster is coaching malpractice. So Bill saw something in Tom that no one else did. And the biggest one, and I have no reason as to why this one is forgotten so much, and that's that Bill Belichick chose Tom Brady over Drew Bledsoe. Now, in hindsight, this looks like a perfect decision. But imagine choosing a 6th round quarterback over the number 1 overall pick by your franchise. Boston fans were actually killing Bill for this at the time.
Barring any unforeseen circumstances, Tom will be the quarterback.
You hurt, frustrated, or how do you feel? Next question.
No one saw what Tom Brady was going to be except for Bill Belichick and a few coaches on the Patriots staff. But while Bill Belichick does deserve credit for drafting Tom Brady, we all know that offense is not the side of the ball Bill is actually good at. Actually, he's quite bad at offense, to be honest. But I still think that Bill is underrated in terms of being a defensive coach. Everyone acts like the Patriots have just completely fallen off these last 4 years, which they have. But those defenses are still pretty good. Those 4 years after Tom Brady left, Bill Belichick has had a top 10 defense 3 times in terms of yards and twice in terms of points. And one time, it was number 11 in terms of points. So Bill Belichick clearly knows how to coach defense. And then you combine that with the fact that the Patriots' offenses are terrible. This year, they're ranked 32 in terms of points per game. So you know that defense is going to be on the field all the time. Now, to be fair, Bill Belichick has to take the most blame for those offenses being terrible. He's drafted poorly. He's done some poor free agent signings, which has made people think that Bill Belichick is just an awful GM. But he isn't as bad as you think he is. While, yeah, as I said, he's had some terrible drafts, especially in recent memory. You had a lot of busts like N'Keal Harry. But throughout his tenure, he's also drafted some good players. Vince Wilfork, Asante Samuel, and of course, Tom Brady come to mind. But there's one thing that I think people don't necessarily overlook about Bill Belichick, but don't give him enough credit for. And that's being able to find good players at very good values, especially late in the draft and in undrafted free agency. The names that probably come to mind here are going to be Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, and there's a bunch of other ones that I haven't listed. But I know what your rebuttal is to that. Tom Brady made those players good. Bill Belichick's defensive schemes made those players good. Exhibit A being Patrick Chung. But to that I say, yeah, Tom Brady made those players who they are. But isn't it Bill's job to find players who will fit his system? Just because you have a good quarterback doesn't mean you're going to be good. Just look at the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is struggling. But to be fair, Bill Belichick is a flawed coach. he is also a very flawed GM, and he has an aging and outdated philosophy. But none of that should make you forget the fact that Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowl champions and had a 19-year-long dynasty. That is his legacy, and nothing else except for cheating.